everybody! I'm here today to show you and tell you how to measure copper pipe size easily. This will be a full tutorial, so let's get right into the video. This is a copper pipe. It is commonly used in plumbing. Nowadays, yes, there are other things that you can use for plumbing, but copper, at least where I live, is still very commonly used in plumbing, especially if you're remodeling a house that already has copper in it from 10, 20, 30 years ago. You're probably going to stick with copper, at least for the most part, depending on the extent of the remodel. Okay, so it's important to know how to measure copper pipe size. Now, a professional will be able to look at the copper pipe and know exactly the sizing of it immediately upon looking at it, but maybe you're not in that position. Maybe you need to measure it, right? So there are two ways to measure copper pipe. You can measure the opening size, okay, which is like it's usually gonna be like 1/2 inch, 3/4 inch, or 1 inch for the most part. That's like residential style plumbing. At least where I live, most houses will have 1/2 inch or 3/4 inch, right? And then some houses will even have 1 inch going into the house, and then, 3/4 inch throughout the house. It all depends, but you want to measure either the opening, which I'll show you how to do that in a moment, or just the length of the copper pipe in general, just the length. Most likely you're looking for measuring the opening because the length is straightforward. So let's start off with the length. You want to measure the length, it's easy. Get your measuring tape or ruler, but probably a measuring tape depending on the length of it. You put it on one end of the copper pipe, okay? Carry it to the other end like that. And this one is almost exactly 46 inches. I could be more precise, but like I said, when you're measuring it, you can be as precise as you want to be. So this is about 46 inches long, this piece of copper pipe right here. It was originally longer, but I used it for some videos on cutting copper pipe and stuff like that. So I had trimmed off a little bit of it over the years of using it for videos. Okay? Now, essentially, when you look at the copper pipe, some pieces of copper pipe will actually say on it like how thick it is, how big the opening is. So this one actually says on it 1/2 inch. So I know that this is 1/2 inch, but let's imagine that it doesn't say on it. How would you measure it? Well, if you look right here, you don't want to measure from the outside to the outside because that's not actually the opening. That's the total length of the material, right? You don't want to measure that. You want to measure the opening. So we're essentially going to measure from the inner edge to the inner edge. It's directly across, not like halfway here and around. No, from the inner edge right there at the direct top to the inner edge right there. And you want to go directly across. So imagine a clock, right? 12 o'clock to 6 o'clock. Okay? That's directly across. Or 3 o'clock to 9 o'clock. That's directly across. So what you want to do is just take your measuring tape or ruler. I mean, in this case, you might want to use a ruler. It's a bit easier. But essentially, you want to place it on one edge and look directly across. And indeed, this is 1/2 inch. If I look, it's going to be hard for me to show you. I'll do my best. But if I hold it like that and I look from the inner edge to the inner edge, it is exactly 1/2 inch, which makes sense as a 1/2 inch copper pipe. Okay, so I know it's correct. And I knew this was 1/2 inch, obviously, before making this video anyways. That's it. That is how to measure a copper pipe size. I showed you both the length and the opening size, and that's it. Obviously you're going to need certain specifications for copper piping when you are doing a remodel of your house or building a home or doing any sort of plumbing. You're going to need a certain number of inches, 1/2 inch, 3/4 inch, 1 inch, whatever the case is. They get even bigger than that. Okay, at least as far as I remember. So that's it. If you like this video, please be sure to give it a thumbs up. Let me know what you think down below as a comment, and of course be sure to subscribe for more great videos just like this one. And that's all I have for you today. Thanks for watching.